Hello and welcome to Feed Me Something, the show where our passports are Australian but our wallets are citizens of the world. I'm Sam Phillips. That's Ryan Hammy Goodman. How are you?
Samuel, very well.
Looking sharp.
You keeping well?
Pipes are out.
Yeah, this is very tight. This is a small girl's football jersey, I believe. That's some of the best kit you've worn, though, on the other hand.
Yeah, it is actually. So if you're wondering at home, have they lost their minds? No, we have not. Not just yet. What we are doing is the punishment for the monthly challenge we ran last month was whoever finished on top of the FMS table, the other two had to dress as that person. Obviously, the Eagle did a good job. Well done to the Eagle. She won the month.
What a start from me. First month. First month.
So we're dressed like this and you've decided to wear manly stuff anyway.
Yeah, I just want to match because we're all big Manly fans.
There's so much manly. This is like a manly podcast now, which I don't like at all.
The Kazmar family podcast.
Yeah. let's get your mother on here, I reckon.
Deb.
Could be a good punter. Who knows?
Absolutely.
How was your weekend?
Well, pretty bad.
You catch the Eagles Manly game the other world dressed as Manly, might as well.
I know,
did you catch it?
It honestly would have been so much better if we won and we could all be celebrating here together. I should be in your kit, but obviously we only have one Eagle suit. Expensive, by the way. It's like $100, that Eagle suit.
It's, well, clearly looks it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's good quality.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't get 50 put on us, so that's that.
I'd like to announce.
I'd like to announce that's
Line through 'em,
incorrect.
Line through 'em.
They didn't
Can't win the
concede
comp.
50, though.
Yeah, I know. We were talking about this in the green room. I was literally watching this at Beach Road with some friends on the weekend, and when it got to clearly the match was over, there's still a few sort of multis flying around. Oh, we need this bloke to score, and I was entirely focused on will they have 50 put on them, so I could immediately text you and be like,
Well, you went early.
You went early.
We're on
Yeah,
50
what did I
watch
say?
here when
On
they
50
got to
watch.
about 38 or so.
And the second he sent through that text, I was like, we're not gonna
yeah.
50 put on us because he's gone the early crow.
You did
I
not.
I did. I felt so much
What
better.
happened to your chat that you have the phone on airplane mode during games?
Well, when we were playing that bad, I was like, let's bring it out.
Beautiful to watch, but I don't think they can win it. I think it's too much going on.
Well,
That's the annoying thing, though. Like, every time we lose this season, it's going to be, it's because Daly's head's not in it. And then when we win, it's going to be the opposite. Oh, they're going to miss him so much.
I feel like you've got on worse from last year.
What'd you say, sorry?
I feel like you're now worse than you were last year.
You reckon? I feel like we've got, like, a lot of injuries as well. So
Yeah, you do.
help.
Statistically, they can still win it. Another team that can still win it, the West Tigers as well. Only conceded 46, so still in the hunt, which is great.
Now, talk to me on the weekend. You were unwell?
Yeah.
Sat at home?
Yep. Got to watch a lot of footy, actually. It was good.
You did, yeah. And I was getting some text from you because you had that head-to-head underdog multi.
I did.
And you were 2 from 2.
I had the Eels, I had the Finns, and then...
It was like 50s? 60s?
40s. Yeah.
And there was a time there.
There was a pulse.
You must have thought.
Yeah, I thought I was in the mix. But, we did that old thing the Tigers used to do where 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after halftime, we just completely shut up shop. And that's what cost us in the end. But didn't get C50, so I could still win the comp. So...
Yeah. I have no further thoughts on the Tigers. How was the rest of your weekend anyway?
No, I didn't. Not much to report. I was just sitting around, just trying to get well. Still a bit of man flu getting around, but
you sound better.
Yeah, yep. I'm getting there. Still a bit there, but can't complain. Yourself? We were supposed to go to the races, unfortunately.
We were going to go to the track. Didn't make it. Apologies to our wonderful partnerships manager, Bridge Maloney, who was not thrilled with the number of bailouts from the Sydney office. But
probably just going to the confraternity to play with my mate
for the last since the events of 10 days or two weeks ago.
Excuse me.
So
family show here, mate.
Yeah, the last night was the first night I'd had sort of just chilling out, which I think I need a bit of that because Anzac Day is just around the corner.
Yeah.
And that is the greatest day of the year in Sydney. So
yes, it is.
My friend, my good close personal friend, Tom Deason and I, we had a discussion about this the other day.
I spoke to Tom Deason. He said he never met you. Actually did...
just a groomsman at his wedding,
I actually did filled in on radio with Webbo the other day, actually.
With who? Tom did or you did?
No, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, send his regards.
To me?
Yeah.
Oh, so he does know me?
Well, I think after all, we just constantly ask him if he's ever met you, and
Nah, he's a good
now
man.
he just feels sorry for you, so he's just trying to be like...
Best in the business.
He's good.
Now, how's this for a concept? Tom and I have decided, we've done many dawn services in our time.
Yep. The Bondi one, very good.
Bondi one of the great dawn services.
Yep.
We've decided, would the diggers rather us go to the dawn service or would they rather us get up, put in some hard yards, run a half marathon on Anzac Day morning?
Wow.
So that's what we decided we're doing.
Really? Your own one?
We're just going to do like as many laps as it takes of Centennial.
Wow.
We're going to run a half marathon on Anzac Day morning. Any listeners out there who'd like to join, please come.
So you're
join
going to
us.
skip the dawn service to.
We're going to do
run.
probably like a 5 a.m. start at Centennial.
So yes, you are going to skip the dawn service.
Well, that's what we said. What would the diggers prefer?
I think they probably prefer you at the dawn service.
Well, I've done it many times. I can say my prayers to them on the run. I'll be saying some prayers on the run, I reckon.
Okay.
So I'll keep them in my thoughts.
I'm going to do Bondi again. I reckon that was great last year.
It was great last year.
Yeah.
And then straight to somewhere in Paddington, a TBC.
Yep.
But anyway, I'm just going to keep it a bit more chill for the next week or two prior to that. So
Okay.
looking forward.
I like it.
To
Bit of self-control.
be my first half marathon ever.
Wow.
You done one?
Nah.
You done one?
I've done one.
Slow one, but done one.
Oh, I was
come on.
sick as a dog that
You
day.
actually
I
was,
was
yeah.
so sick. But I got another one sort of coming up at the end of the year. So it's a ultra marathon that's a relay. So it kind of ends up being like almost a half. But I'm on the first leg from Bondi down to, can't remember where, maybe like Elizabeth Bay. Is that a place?
Yep.
I feel like that's what the loop is of my leg. So
Speaking of, just before we'll get into the show quickly, I've downloaded Strava
yeah.
Oh, God.
last couple of weeks. I don't understand the hype.
Well,
There's no hype,
I have
is there?
seen, obviously, like we follow each other on Strava. The
Yeah.
hype is you just don't have enough followers. So
Yeah,
you're
I've
not
got
getting
like
enough kudos.
5 to 10 followers.
You're
And
not giving him any kudos?
I've given
Eagle?
him
Free
zero
times?
kudos.
Yeah, why
I've
no
been
kudos
seeing
to
your
me?
stuff though.
Yeah.
I saw you did 10K PP.
You know what I
And
realised?
what was that PB?
It was like 5:58 or something pace.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
Jeez.
It's your Strava PB. I
not
get
quick,
you might
is
have
it?
done it.
Yeah.
No, it's all
Was
right.
this
Oh,
a
it's all
run
right.
or a walk? 10K?
Ask Flanners, who we have coming up
You know what?
later.
I feel like an extraordinary boomer. There's been a couple of
Well, you're 40.
You've been getting in my head about this. Because
Because you're a boomer.
there's a couple of technological
are.
things that have rattled me in the last 6
Yeah.
months.
EG, has anyone got a charge for my laptop today?
Yeah, to bring a charger. That's all right. That's what you're here for.
Okay.
So I didn't know that when you start a run on your Apple Watch, it automatically goes to Strava. So I've been pressing record.
I know, you've been double running
So-
every single run. It says Sam Phillips is running with Sam Phillips because he's tagging himself.
Oh my God.
That's why I haven't been giving you kudos because you take it my whole feed because every run you do is twice.
One of my mates was like, "Yeah, you got to stop doing that." I was like, I didn't realize I was doing it. So thanks for the heads up on that. Anyway, enough on the weekends. Coming up on the show today, 2 very exciting guests.
Yes.
The one, the only Roasty is in here just before he boards his flight to
Miami.
for
Miami
UFC
roast.
314. The one, the only Alex Volkanovski making his return after 14 months out.
Yep.
Cannot wait to watch the great man fight on Sunday. I'll actually be definitely having a couple of refreshments while watching that, I reckon, on Sunday afternoon. Can't wait.
Beautiful.
And then we've got, again, the one, the only Gather Round guy.
Yes, big get for the show. They've defrosted him for the year. Pulled him out of the
Do you reckon
cryogenic.
he's in the cryo?
Yeah, he would be in there. Yeah, in the suit as well. Certainly hasn't been washed. So might as well just freeze him in
I
it.
was got a visual image of him just like passed out asleep in a cryo chamber, and they just he'd be in some weird like probably just like trying to have a I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, the Gather Round guys coming up, the biggest weekend in AFL according to Wally, I think according to Hammy as well.
And according to Gathering Guy.
According to Gather Round guy,
So
he's
the
going to
3
come
sharpest minds in football are in agreement. This is the biggest round of the year.
on. I can't wait to have him on. So let's get into the show.
Yep.
Repercussions.
Yep.
I had a good week. I got an AFL multi up, had a racing bet collect, had the Swannies, that was over by half time. My NRL double was cost by the Titans. You did warn me about that one.
Yep.
Too good for
Banana
you.
field game. And what was your Broncos SGM?
It was Broncos to cover into Arthur's into Shibasaki.
Yeah, well done. That was
And so
good. What was that paying?
Only $4.33.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well done.
And only just got there because the you know the other thing that I don't know if you two remember this, but I said on the show last week if the Tigers won, I'd do the show.
Oh, that's right.
With the Shibasaki goes. I was pretty nervous there for a little bit.
Yep.
At the pub, but got the job done. Plus 14.1 units for me. Minus 27 on the season.
Yep.
Catching you slowly.
Yeah, chipping
Over to
away.
you.
Yeah,
How'd
it
you
didn't
go?
go that well. You went to the game on last Thursday.
I did. Bit of a stinker.
Had the try bet. Was looking good for a while, and then Carlton just packed up and did what Carlton do this
As
year.
they do.
Souths, that was never in doubt. Minus 1.5.
Oh, never in doubt.
That was a nice, easy watch, which we love.
I watched that with you. You were nervous.
Nah, I was not.
Yeah, you were pretty
Didn't
nervous.
even break a sweat.
You were nervous.
I think it actually made me sick for the weekend, to be honest, watching that one. But anyway, we got the job done. Gold Rush Guru didn't get up. I had my upsets multi. Obviously, my boys, the Tigers, couldn't quite get it done.
Yeah.
And then Nur Ahmad,
Wrong Ahmed.
No, he failed to. He didn't bowl his full allotment of overs. His third over went for plenty.
Oh,
and
they
only
scrapped
goes,
him.
have a spell. You're not bowling the last one. So he was in the hunt. He did take 1 wicket, but wasn't enough to be the most wickets for Chennai.
Was there another Ahmed who he was top taker? Am I right about that?
No,
Yeah,
no.
I think there was.
Because when I went to check it, I thought, he's won, and then I realised
Yeah, it
different
wasn't
bloke.
Nur.
Yeah, it was a different. It was spelt differently, funnily
okay.
enough, but
Yep.
similar vibe.
Eagle, how'd you go?
Yes, obviously try score a multi, dead again. I'm going with a new tactic this week,
Yep.
which I will talk about later. Bounce back multi, the teams suck. Cronulla sucks, Panthers suck. The Rabbitohs won that one, but obviously...
Cronulla and Panthers being the ones to let you down there, you wouldn't have picked that.
Crazy, isn't it? Penrith going 4 in a row is crazy. Tom Kitten didn't win, but also
survived.
Safely crossed the line.
that's
So
good.
Despite the work of Muffin.
that's okay. Yeah. Well, Muffin obviously wasn't getting through quick enough. Manly 13 plus did not win, but
They
we can
lost
just
13
skip
plus,
that. Yep, that's true. And then my Manly multi actually got voided because of Will Warbrick,
Yes.
but would have won because Grant Anderson ended up being on that edge and scoring a hat
You
trick.
don't know that though, but sure.
Yeah, because I was picking who was ever lining up against
well-
Clayton
What if he
Fa'alalo.
dropped it 3 times? Then
But
what?
he didn't. So, anyways, but happy days. My first try after 8 minutes, multi won, and because I had 2 units on that, I finished the week plus 2.44 and overall minus
That's actually
4.15.
remarkable.
But I am the winner.
You are the winner of the month.
Hence why you guys are in that. Have we explained that?
Yeah,
we
explained
did.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just quickly for the punters at home, talk us through that market, the first try after 8 minutes. Because I know a lot of your betting's done on omens and on vibes.
It's a lot of vibes.
Is this vibes on the first 8 minutes betting?
I often try and look like, okay, when Manly are playing, I feel like I know maybe a little bit more because I'm like, even against a team like the Storm, I think we can hold them out for at least 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Whereas other games, I like to pick whoever's a bit more evenly matched. So I found the
So it's a close
Dragons and the
game.
Eels were a little bit of a toss of the coin.
Yeah.
So I've got another multi for that later in the show today, but I've picked three games this week instead of 2. Going to slowly build up, and it's 3 games where I think it's a little more evenly matched than, for instance, like I'm not touching the Panthers Dolphins game, for instance, because Penrith are coming off 4 losses. The Dolphins suck.
Finn, sneaky chance.
No, but like
Sneaky chance.
I just a game like that, not touching it. Anyways, it is off vibe.
I'm going to follow
but-
you this week because I like the theory behind this.
Yeah.
And clearly the rewards are there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like often I used to try and only bet on individual games if it was paying over $2, but doing this little multi thing is like making the odds a lot better.
Yeah, 100%.
So even if it's paying like $1.77 as its single leg, as I think last week it was paying $3.73. So anyways, we'll see how we go this week.
All right. Let's get into, probably, as you said, big get.
Huge get.
Can't wait to talk to him. Let's throw and have a chat to the gather round guy.
Yep. He is contractually obliged to do it, but yes, great get.
All right, it's the biggest weekend in the AFL, I reckon, probably now, gather
Yep.
round.
I would say it is bigger than the grand final now.
You reckon?
Yep. I went it above.
It's actually not a bad pub test. Let's do that next week potentially. But gather round means we need to speak to the gather round guy. He's the biggest face. He's the face of gather round. He is the biggest star in the AFL this weekend. Big welcome to the gather round guy.
Hello,
mate.
Sammy. Hello, Hammy. Hello, Eagle. Are you ready for the best weekend of the year and the greatest show on earth?
Ready to gather around you.
Yes, it's not just footy, it's gather round, baby. It's 9 games, it's one state, South Australia, brimming with pride, fresh off a glorious Sheffield Shield victory. And my good friend Peter Malinauskas has informed me that the Balfour's pies are hot, the Farmers Union iced coffees are cold, the Barossa's overflowing with Shiraz, and the great city of Adelaide is radiating in anticipation, awaiting the grand arrival of the footy.
Oh my God.
I didn't realise the chat we had in the green room before he jumped on was a dry run of what we'd be getting as soon as he came on.
That was extraordinary. Who's that? There's a Pommy. Peter Drury is a Pommy soccer commentator who gives like these amazing spiels every time Messi's on the field.
Yep.
That was similarly poetic.
That
I
was
reckon.
good.
That was really good
Some
stuff.
of your best gather round, guy.
Peter Drury, gather round guy. Similar energy.
Yep.
Similar energy.
I'm very excited, backing everyone, of course, as is per every gather round. I love the Crows and I love the Power, love the Eagles and the Dockers, and the Blues are great and so are the Bombers, and I'm praying for 9 draws. Let's share all the points, spread the love far and wide, and get around the whole lot of them.
Oh, my God. How are you expecting this weekend to play out? Because you are the face of the round. First of all, what's the line on how many selfies do you reckon you'll be asked for across the course of the weekend? Do you feel any pressure going into it? How are you preparing for arguably the only weekend that you do strike relevance amongst the AFL community?
Well, I imagine my many friends over in South Australia will be waiting my grand arrival. I'm getting there tomorrow morning. First thing, I'll be there in Adelaide. So find me in the CBD, come take a photo and, get around the gather round.
Bit of a question without notice, gather around guy. If you had to do a South Australian Mount Rushmore, who would be your four South Australian?
In what department though? Or what?
Well, no, I reckon like one from each kind of walk of life. You know, you've got footy, you've got cricket,
Okay,
you've got,
yeah.
You know, politics and miscellaneous.
I will go with Malcolm Blight,
Yep.
Bravis Head,
Yeah.
Thanasi Kokonakis,
And Malinauskas.
and Peter Malinowski.
That's actually a sick Mount Rushmore.
That's not a bad one.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Well done, gather round guy. All right, let's talk serious matters here. Let's talk to footy this weekend. Do you like a multi across all the games this weekend? What do you like?
Yes, I've got a couple. My first multi this week, which may come as no surprise to you all, is all 9 teams to draw. That is paying $900 trillion or $9 quadrillion. Over 100 times more than all the money there is on the planet. So there is enormous value in my multi if 9 draws does get up this weekend. But I've got a good feeling.
Yeah. Follow gather round guy on the feed to copy that one.
I don't think it's going to be allowed on the feed, unfortunately. But
900 trillion.
900 trillion.
Yeah.
I don't know if...
Geez, the traders are a bit tight there, I reckon.
But I've got a couple of others over the weekend that I've had a look at.
Yep.
Plus 25 disposals multi. I've got 8 legs.
Okay.
Bailey Smith, Jake Saligo, Harry Sheasel, Matt Rowell, Clayton Oliver, Zach Merritt, Josh Kelly, and Jack Sinclair to all get 25 plus, and that's paying $18.75. They're all averaging over 25 disposals this year.
$18.75 trillion.
Similar level of tariff. That's how we're going to fix the tariff problem in the world at the moment.
Yep.
All the draws this weekend.
Yep.
That's it. We'll just send Trump the money.
Very simple.
And we'll be all square.
You're welcome.
Anything else
One
for
more
us?
that I really like is the 2+ goal scorers multi. 6 legs on this one.
Yep.
Riley Thilthorpe, Joel Amarty, Zach Bailey, Seth Campbell, Mitch Owens, and Ollie Lord to all get 2 or more goals. All of them averaging 2 or more goals a game this year. That's paying a whopping $83.21.
Oh.
Not quite 900 trillion, but not bad.
No,
Still
it's
a bit
not
of
bad.
value
It's
there
not a
as
bad
well.
effort, I think. Well, there's one of those 2 will win, I reckon.
All right, hope so.
Yep.
Well, look forward to following you in there on a couple of those gather round. What can we expect? Obviously, you'll be there flying the flag for not only for gather round, but also for Sportsbet over the course of the weekend. What sort of stuff can we expect to see populating some of the channels?
Yes, well, the Silly Punts boys, they're over there, Flanners and Wally, they're in Adelaide, and they've got their head-to-head betting series. Wally's a great friend of mine. I'm looking forward to catching up with him on the hill at Adelaide Oval, and I've never met Flanners, but I've heard he's a bit of a gremlin on weekends like this. But yes, the Silly Punts, they'll be there facing off head-to-head with massive consequences as per always. Wally got a Dustin Martin haircut as his punishment for losing last week, and I tell you what, that's a sight to see. And this weekend in Adelaide, there's a lot on the line for their Silly Punt. It's an awful punishment. Neither of them are keen to lose, so it'll be one to watch over the coming days. So go follow their chaos on @FeedNation_SB and go follow Wally and Flanners on the feed on the Sportsbet app and copy their Silly Punts for this weekend.
Can you give us a bit of an insight into what the punishment will be, or is that going to be revealed once you get over there?
That will be revealed, but it's going to be somewhat painful for whoever loses. So... yeah, look out for that.
Speaking of which, by the time this goes up, we should already have the last Silly Punts punishment up, in which Flanners, no relation to gather round guy, had to run 2K yesterday.
Yeah, well, from what I hear, run is quite a loose term for what actually happened in the said punishment, but looking forward to seeing that as well.
Yeah, if the time's anything to go by, run might be a bit of an exaggeration. So go check that out on the Feed Nation _SB Instagram as well. I think that's going to do us to Gather Round Guy. You can only have Gather Round Guy in small doses, I reckon.
I think so.
That's enough for now.
Yep.
Keep an eye on our channels for plenty of him this weekend. Thanks very much for joining us, mate. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Eagle. Gather round. Go the footy.
All right, big thanks to the Gather Round Guy. Always entertaining. I'd argue that's scripted intro there. Some of the best content we've seen on Feed Me Something.
Very good.
In the 8 months.
If that's anything to expect what we might see coming out of Adelaide this weekend, it's going to be a hell of a content junket for the crew over there.
The boys have got some good ideas coming through, so really excited to see what they do. Make sure you check them out. Feed Nation _SB. Go give us a follow. While you're there, go follow Feed Me Something on the feed. That is run by yours truly. A couple of winners there. I got a new little icon. Because the last two things I've backed on the feed of won. So it's a little like dartboard that says 2 win streak.
Yeah, I got that last week.
I had that a week or two ago as well.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that before.
Been a while.
It was exciting.
It's a very exciting time. So go follow our account. Go follow Ella. Go follow Hammy. Flanners, who's no at all relation to the Gather Round Guy. Go follow him.
Yep.
Lots of good betting content coming up on the feed. So, speaking of betting, one of the great betting events of the year, every year, is the Masters.
Yep.
Kicks off Thursday. So just so you know, you don't get caught out. You got to have your bets on if you want to bet outright and all that sort of stuff. Thursday, 9 p.m. is when they close the markets. That's when the first ball is hit in the Masters.
Yep.
So you need to be in there Thursday, 9 p.m. Get your bets on. I'll start. We've all got Masters bets, but I'm going to start with a patriotic bet. If you're not having this bet, are you really an Australian? Any Aussie to win the Masters, having one unit on that at $15 gives you every Australian in the field. We got probably 4 or 5 strong chances, so don't mind this one at all. Just to cheer home from Thursday through to Sunday.
Yep, I like that bet. And to be honest with you, if you hadn't put it in first, I was going to do it as
You
well.
throw it in?
I'll probably back it anyway. But
Okay.
Not as one of my official bets. I think it's a great bet.
Good to know.
Yeah,
Good to have you on board.
Yep.
And I'll also have a unit on Rory McIlroy to win outright. I think he's actually out to $8 now. I had it at $7.50. He's now $8. Look, Rory has not completed the career slam. He's one of the great golfers of our generation. Probably the best, second best of my lifetime behind Tiger, although Scotty Scheffler's probably got something to say about that. He won really well at Pebble Beach in February. He won the Players. This is probably the best form he's ever had coming into a Masters. I actually don't love Rory as a bloke. I think he's a bit of a wet wipe, but generally a lot of golfers are, aren't they?
Kettle.
Oh, come on. That's a bit harsh.
I'm joking.
I think he's in really good form, really good nick. I reckon he's a better bet than Scheffler is, who I know Eagle doesn't mind, but I think at the price, $8, 1 unit on Rory is a nice little play.
Yep.
Who wants to fire away next?
Well, I guess we'll go in order of the run sheet there. I'll pick up after this one.
Yeah.
So I'm getting around, look, as I said, I like your bet about any Aussie, $15. I love that. But I'm getting around my man Min Woo Lee, or as I like to call him after the Houston Open, Win Woo Lee. What a performance that was. He's $41 to win it outright. I'm not going to have him to win it outright, but he is $10 to finish in the top 5.
Yep.
Playing good golf at the moment. So, again, love your bet, but I reckon if he can continue his form, Win Woo Lee to get towards the pointy end in the Masters, I'm pretty happy with the price there, $10 for top 5.
Similar to Rory, Rory's always performed well in the Masters without being in amazing form. Min Woo Lee's, I think he's had 2 of his last 3 years have been top 25.
Yep.
And this is the best he's ever played.
That's right.
So if you follow that trajectory, what do we find? We might find him in the top 5.
Need to draw your diagram, people? 1 unit, $10. That's me, Win Woo Lee.
All right, Eagle.
I'm playing it simple, going Scotty Scheffler to go back-to-back, outright win, 1 unit at $5. And the reason I'm picking him is because if you've seen his Masters Club dinner, the menu...
Oh, talk to me. Have you got it there?
They'll be feeding it well. I do, and it is. He has made some excellent choices that I think will just, put him in the right mind frame to win. So for the appetizers, we have cheeseburger sliders, firecracker shrimp with sweet Thai chili and sriracha mayo, and Papa Chef's meatball and ravioli bites, which sounds great.
That is a great start.
First course is Texas-style chili with cheddar cheese, jalapenos, and corn chips. And then main course, you have a choice of a wood-fired cowboy ribeye or blackened redfish with family-style macaroni and cheese, jalapeno, cream corn, soy glazed Brussels sprouts, and chipotle lime roasted sweet potatoes. But his greatest choice is dessert. It's a warm chocolate chip skillet cookie with vanilla bean ice cream.
Ooh.
That is like one of the greatest set menus I've ever seen.
Insane. He's done an excellent job, and obviously he had a few similar choices back in after he won in 2022.
Yeah.
Apparently, Dino actually told me before that a lot of the golfers have chosen the warm chocolate chip skillet cookie, so they must be insane.
It must be incredible.
Anyways, yeah, one unit on him at $5.
Because before this one, we always see this menu. I don't even know if I actually see what it looks like.
Yeah, I know. I would love to see what it looks like, to be honest.
Masters account on TikTok, please give us.
Yeah, surely they would, because that's
on a plate, Scotty Scheffler edition.
easy content right there. Especially because the cheeseburger sliders are served Scotty style.
Which is what I tell you what, whoever's written that menu. Very really good descriptive ways of writing. You could have just been
theatre of the mind, wasn't it, in some of those dishes there? Yeah.
It really looks good.
Like what's firecracker shrimp? Is that just shrimp?
Well, no, that's I've seen that before.
Like, a bit of deep fried stuff, bit of chili.
Okay, I found out what's the Scotty style burger involves placing fries on the patty.
So just like what people do at Macca's, basically.
Which is genius. Genius.
Oh, that's sensational.
Sounds so good.
We need to think about our answers for that. I don't know what I would add to that.
Yeah. I know what I would say.
Go on.
Pocket pizza, vodka sauce, pasta thingy, and butterboy cookies for dessert.
Oh yeah.
Cookies
already on the menu.
Yeah, I know.
Butterboy cookies right up. What are you going to throw on?
I was just going to go, as a bit more of an athlete, I'd probably go the Chipotle chicken muscle chef.
That's what you would put on Masters.
From my muscle chef.
60 grams of protein in one convenient.
You can have anything.
Meal on there.
One convenient dish.
You got a million private
big
chefs.
protein here.
That's crazy. Is that what you're going to say on the video?
Probably will, yeah.
That's a great gag. People are going to comment being like, are you all right?
What's yours?
I really don't know the answer.
Anyways, you can find it on, I think, maybe Sportsbet socials. Yeah. Dino will be making a video. Can see what other people are saying for theirs.
I'm going to have a good think about it. Probably something sushi related, I reckon. Some flash
sushi. Fair enough.
Sushi.
Yeah, sashimi would be nice.
All right. Yeah, that's Thursday. As I said, get them on by 9 p.m. Otherwise, you'll miss out. You got to have these on even a little bit earlier because you've got some rugby league bets for us on Thursday.
I do. I've got a multi called Penrith Cannot Lose 5 in a Row. That's the title of my multi. Because if they lose 5 in a row, especially to the Dolphins...
Penthron?
Absolutely.
You reckon?
That's absolutely crazy. Like, who would have thought? So, again, honestly, probably since their second loss in a row, I've been like, they can't lose 3 in a row.
Yeah.
They can't lose 4 in a row. Going. So, you never know. But I am going to be taking the Panthers on the line, which is -7.5 at the moment. Obviously, Teamless Tuesday, the Savo could change that. Then I am putting in Alamotti to score because he hasn't scored in a few weeks now, and also Liam Martin. And that... It will be TBC due to Teamless Tuesday, but I'm putting 2 units on that multi.
That'll be a fat multi, I reckon, if you get that home.
I reckon.
Liam Martin needs to stop running decoys. That's what happened last week. I was pretty hot on him.
He was red hot on him.
Too many decoys.
He didn't really look like scoring, did he?
No, he was doing his role. He was doing what he always been asked to do, but just give him the ball.
Yeah.
Kick it his way.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, sticking with some rugby, you've got a bet for us on Friday.
Rugby League down at Wynn Stadium, or as I'm anticipating, Lost Stadium, 6 p.m. on Friday.
Bermuda Triangle.
Titans are down there taking on the Dargans. Now, the Dargans somehow warm favourites in this, despite losing to Parramatta last week. The Titans, they were terrible. When I took them on last week, I said, nah, I don't like them being that short favourites at home. Doesn't suit them. Yeah. When they're rank outsiders on the road against another crap team, I'm having a piece of that. So I'm just basically backing him at the price, $2.39, 2 units on the Titans. Like, it could be a tough watch, but nothing would shock me less than if they won 13 plus in this game and just put an absolute show on them. So I just think at the price, I had to have a piece of them. So that's
you are the Titans whisperer after last weekend.
Well, yeah, 1 from 1. 1 Pete. So
1 Pete.
We go again.
The 13 plus is a fantastic angle. I don't know what price that is, but that's a really good shout. I may even like that more than the head-to-head.
Yeah, there's something there for sure.
Because they can really turn it on and score a stack of points against bad sides.
560 you getting for the 13 plus.
Yeah, that'll be a little. I'll be back in both. I reckon I'll be with you on Friday night.
Lovely.
That's the early game, yeah.
It is.
What's the late game?
The late game probably the Broncos versus someone.
Broncos taking on the Roosters up at Suncorp.
Well, that's right.
Yeah. Yep. Being a 13 plus.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Whoop, you're right.
No. I'm battling, but we'll push on.
You didn't sneeze?
No.
Okay. Saturday. I've got I got my rugby league double beat last week, but I reckon this is the week.
Yep.
I think the Sharks. Can I just put my hand up here and say I didn't realise this game was in Perth until about 2 hours ago? I don't think it matters though, because as long as you're not at Brookie, or even though based on the weekend, you're not even good at Brookie anymore. So
boo.
Sharks -5.5. similar to your theory, I know you've been hot on them since the start of the season. I think the Sharks, they just... I haven't been as high on them as probably you were and a few other experts were.
I've jumped off.
You've jumped off. I think they're better than Manly, though, and I think they will have to show something this week. They have to show something. I think 5.5 is good. I think if it was 6.5, sort of 7.5, 8.5, I wouldn't be as keen. I think get on that 5.5 now. And I think the Knights, I didn't even realise I was doing this. I'm taking on your team, and I'm taking on your team.
Did you know the Knights game is in Perth as well? It's a double header.
No, it's not. Knights game's on Sunday.
Sorry. No, yes it is. Knights
What,
game's
is
in
it?
Perth, yeah.
No, it's not.
The Knights game's the 5:30 Perth game.
No, it's not. It's on Sunday. It's the last game on Sunday.
Yeah, against the Tigers.
What?
Are you sweet?
No, because my friend literally was like...
It's at Newey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay.
Newey?
I don't know. My friend was like, okay, my friend's a Knights fan and was like, we're playing after you in Perth.
He or she have had a man.
Hey, yeah.
Had a man. What's his
Anyways, Caleb.
name? You're an idiot, Caleb. Sort it out, brother.
Caleb?
Sort it out.
Knights fans rattled. Tigers win that game.
Nah, Knights had no ball on the weekend, but I actually think they defended really well against the Dogs. I hate to say this to you, but I'm really not liking what I'm seeing from your boys at the moment. So I think the Knights will cover that 5.5 as well. So 2 units at $3.52. I called a Ponga captaincy for Supercoach when you guys played at the start of the season. I reckon Ponga's got his eyes set on a feast of the Tigers this weekend.
We'll see. He'll be the second best fullback out there. Julian Buller all over him. Nice. Over to me.
Yeah, far away.
I'm taking you on, and I'm getting around Ella's team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I
What's the
think,
theory? What are you
again,
thinking?
At the price, I've jumped off the Sharks now. They've let me down too many times.
Oh, you're
this
just
season.
dead with them. You're done with them.
I've had enough for the time being. I think this should be closer to a pick'em.
Do you?
Frankly, yeah, I
Okay.
do. $2.56 for Manly. Yeah, they were terrible last week, but
Storm's a good side.
look, I just reckon the market should be a bit closer. That's all I'm basing it off.
Okay.
Really, either team could win this one, but I just thought, again, I'm not going to walk past 256. There will be a bet coming up later in the week on the Weekly Hub or Hammy's Hub.
Hammy's Hub.
Who let the dogs out bingo, and it's an underdogs-based multi. X amount of underdogs to prevail over.
Yep.
We had 4 underdogs win last week. And again, I got that feeling this week there'll be some underdogs winning again. So that's where I'm going with the Manly one.
We don't know how many dogs or what price yet, do we?
Nah,
It'll be
after
up
teams
soon.
come out.
After teams come out.
So keep your eye on the app, probably tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning.
Just go click NRL, should be Hammy's Hub there.
Should be. Yep. I'll definitely have it on my feed anyway, so follow me on there.
Beautiful.
Yep.
All right, Eagle,
Yes.
rugby bets, let's go.
Obviously, getting on Manly 13 plus, as I'm doing every week this season. Didn't feel confident last week. Don't feel super confident this week
you're
on
not
that.
confident this week?
No, I'm scared. I'm super scared because we also don't know, like, is Jason Saab playing? Is Tommy Talau back? Like, both of them flew to Perth,
Tommy was on
but
the flight, yeah.
I don't know. We could end up with some real reserve grade outside backs, which is what stresses me out. So, anyways, just putting 1 unit on Manly 13 plus.
Yep.
Hopefully, miracles can happen.
Yep.
Going back to my first try after 8 minutes bet, I am putting the Sharks Manly game into that. Again, with my strategy before, when it's a bit of a close one, you kind of don't know who's going to win. I like that. The Rabbitohs and Cowboys game, I'm also putting on. Just the Rabbitohs, also heaps of injuries for them. I think they beat the Cowboys, but I think their attack's not as good with the injuries that they do have, that it'll hold out for at least the first 8 minutes. And then I'm also putting the Knights Tigers game in. So 2 units on that at TBC for Teamless Tuesday. And then instead of having my massive try scorer multi, I thought, you know what, I'm going to narrow it down to 1 day of the week this week
that.
and just do a Super Saturday try scorer. Just like with my first try after 8 minutes bet last week, I only had 2 teams this week, 2 games. This week I'm having 3. So I'm just doing the Super Saturday try scorer. So I've gone Mulatalo. I forgot to change that bit on the run sheet there.
Tromit.
Nope, that wasn't who I have.
Don't like him going to 5'8"?
No, Jai Gray and Seb Chris.
GI.
The Canberra GI.
Yeah, so I was just thinking Mulatalo is because Manly's wingers are likely to be, like I said, reserve graders, potentially if Saab's out. Jai Gray's leading the Dally M's, also scored 3 tries in 5 games, and Seb Chris is just in some good form. So, again, sorry, TBC. So many of my bets are relying on Teamless Tuesday.
So
So
but that's okay.
That's that.
happens when you record on a Tuesday, Arvo.
Yes.
All right, AFL, I got a multi-home last week, was agonising close the week before, or maybe I did get a home the week before, can't remember. Anyway, I like these teams to get the job done. I like the Suns to beat North.
Yep.
Suns airborne, North looking horrific to me. Dogs plus 10.5 against the Lions, who are putting, they're winning, but they're not putting teams away. And look, I was against the Saints on the weekend against Port. I thought Port would stand up and frankly belt them before letting their fans down, but it looks like Port's cast. Are Port cast or are the Saints really good? Not 100% sure. I think Ross will have a plan against the Giants this week. A 15.5 start looks too big to me. So I'm having 2 units on Suns into the Dogs 10.5, Saints plus 15.5 at $4.54. And then I'm also got some racing bets for us on the weekend. I think Treasure of the Moment is going to win again. Hasn't lost in its career. I don't think it'll start this weekend in the Oaks. And then LL Cairns. I know it got away with a bit of a few cheap sectionals on the weekends, but in the Sydney Cup, it's just been absolutely belting them from the front in its 3 starts in Australia. I reckon it'll win the Sydney Cup to make it 4 from 4 in Australia. 2 units there. TBC on prices. This was.
I think they've just come out.
Just
I
come
can
out?
tell you.
Tell me, Treasure of the Moment into LL
for
Cairns.
Treasure of the Moment, $1.60 to win and $1.09 to place.
No, so 160 into what? 160 into
who was the other one?
LL Cairns, Sydney Cup.
Sydney Cup. Let me get that up
Race
for
9,
you.
I reckon. Should be around the $4.40 mark, I reckon.
Sydney Cup. That is paying $2.80 to win.
So 160 times 280 is $4.48. So having 2 units on those two to get the job done at $4.48 in the day 2 of the championships at Randwick on Saturday.
Lovely.
I also have a bet for the Oaks.
Okay.
Simply because the horse has my name in it.
Okay.
Before the barriers were drawn, it was paying $26 to win, that is. And so I was like, okay, you know what? That's all right. Just checked. Anyways, it is paying $101 to win.
101?
And $12 to place. So I'm putting a unit each way. Who knows what could happen?
Who knows?
Very Ella
I
Hazel.
think Treasure of the Moment would give it Winburn, but who knows?
Even a place, it'd be beautiful. $12.
Correct.
Love that.
Stranger things have happened.
Yep.
All right. You got some gather round best
Yeah, I
for us?
do. Big gather round, guys. Well, not as big as the one that we just had on the show,
Yeah.
but I'll go with it anyway. I'm with you about the Suns. I got them head to head to beat North. Carlton stink. I'm sorry. Hate to break it to you. West Coast plus 32.5.
You
And
reckon?
I'll tell you what, danger game. I wouldn't shock me if they beat them as well, but I'm just having them plus 32.5. Then I've got in the Lions. I've got the Lions. Sorry to beat the Dogs.
Yep.
And then to bring us home with a try bet, either side by 15
Or less, D's Dons.
in the D's Dons game. Having a unit on that at $9.15. Little
reckon-
Super Saturday.
Don't mind it.
Yeah.
You reckon West Coast can beat Carlton?
Well, I think that it's within the realms of possibility, but the bet is just West Coast plus 32.5.
Mate, they will dead set burn. If the Carlton fans will burn Adelaide to the ground if they lose.
Yep. Watch your space. Where are they playing that one? Is that out at the...
I think it's at I think it's at
Barossa?
AO, but
okay.
maybe the Eagle can confirm.
Which game was that again? I zoned out.
Carlton v West Coast.
Yeah.
West
I do wonder. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's at AO.
AO. Okay.
What do you think about the way they do it compared to Magic Round?
It's a no contest. Magic Round has covered so much. Every game, they don't overlap. They're all at the one ground. It's right near Caxton Street. I've done both. I like both sports. I'm sorry, it's a no contest.
Oh, you've been together, Uber?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you've been.
It's a no contest.
Yeah?
Yeah. So having to spend $100 in an Uber to get to a ground and back, ain't it?
I wouldn't want to spend an Uber at all. Like the best thing about Magic Round is being able to walk.
Walk everywhere.
Walk everywhere. Even if you're a half an hour walk away from the stadium, like
Yeah.
easy done.
Yeah,
It's all
100%.
flat, like beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a strange. It's almost like it's more a celebration of Adelaide a little bit, whereas like get around the Barossa, get around the wineries, get around these not country towns, but suburban grounds. Whereas it's just all about the footy and about Caxton Street at Magic Round,
Yep.
isn't it? It's not about Brisbane as much, you know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah.
I kind of get it though, in the sense like they have to have it away to have that feel. Like
Yeah.
as in they can't have it in Melbourne. And then it's like, I guess in a market like Sydney and Melbourne, would it be as successful? Like at least people in Adelaide care about the sport.
Yeah.
So
you also couldn't do it. Like if you did it in Sydney, where else would you play?
yeah, you'd have to do it like Magic Round, do it where it's like you just have
Split
one.
it up over, yeah.
But I understand there's too many games
Too many games.
to do that. So yeah, they're a bit stuck like that.
Anyway,
Oh well.
Wally talks up like it's the greatest weekend ever.
Wait till
He's
you,
missing out.
Yeah.
There's not as much of an appreciation of both codes.
Yeah.
Do you think that those that do have an appreciation of both would be in agreement that it's, it does it a little bit better?
I can't wait for Magic Round.
Yeah, pumped. We're going to be there. How
See
many?
you there.
Manly won't though.
How many selfies for Hammy over the course of the weekend? Last year was about 1,057, I reckon.
Well, we did have a bloke in the bar meet and greet, so that
I'm
was
not
like
even including the meet and
essential-
greet. All right, it's time to talk Sunday bets and therefore time to talk UFC 314.
Yep.
Let's throw and have a chat to the great NRL roast. All right, it's UFC 314 time, so we have got a very special guest in the house. Welcome, the great NRL roast.
Thank you, boys. Thank you.
How
Thanks,
are you,
Sam and
mate?
Ham.
Thanks for coming on down.
As a human, I'm doing very well. As a Dragon supporter, it's seen better days. But
Yeah.
yeah, happy to be here.
Good point. Kick him out of the comp. Good point.
It's a good analysis from the Hello Sport boys yesterday. They're talking about there's only one team in the comp. Maybe I actually reckon that's wrong. The Cowboys may be the only other team I reckon who could beat Melbourne one week
Yep.
and then lose to Para the next week.
It was predictable, very predictable from us. But yeah,
It's actually incredible. I don't even think the Tigers could do that, probably because they couldn't beat Melbourne, I would say.
Yeah, we beat Paris, so.
Oh, congratulations.
I've got,
Yeah.
I've
And,
got
also,
nothing. I've got
and
no
also your alleged team. so-
Congratulations to you.
Yeah.
Roasty, you're in the building. You're off to the States tonight for UFC
I am.
314.
Yep.
You excited?
As you can see, Miami Volk.
That's
Yes,
a sick shirt, isn't it?
Yeah, very excited. Head off tonight. I arrive. I think it's like Wednesday morning their time. So
Yep.
I think it's like 26, 27 hours in flight. But by time it's like 15. So
Front or back of plane?
oh no, I'm always back of plane.
You back of plane?
Yeah,
Don't get the
back
hammy
of plane.
treatment on the international
Yeah.
flights?
I'm just going to walk in and just go left and hope I don't get stopped.
Yeah.
But see what happens.
Interesting tactic, that
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Rosie was saying, actually bucket list stuff for him.
Yeah?
Yeah, coming in and doing the show in the studio for family something. So,
Yeah, I've.
well, how is it so far, mate? You enjoying
well, it's a lot better than the delayed Zoom that we're normally on. So
Yeah, it's a bit
lot better.
messier, isn't it? A bit messier. All right, mate, we're in here to talk UFC bets. There's two fights we want to run through.
Yep.
Obviously, our man Volk is the main event.
Yep.
Just talking in the green room, you reckon it's going to be tight, but you reckon he's a good chance? Talk us through how you see this fight playing out.
Yeah, look, he's had a long layoff, 14 months now.
Yep.
But it's probably the best thing for him. Like he had two back-to-back knockouts, so he needed a bit of time off. He was going through so many fights so quickly. So good to have a bit of a layoff. How that's going to play on his mind, having that much time out, considering he was so active, time will tell. But he's got age as well. He's 36, up against Lopez, who's 30. So that's going to play on his mind a bit. But I think he still get the job done. Lopez, he's been flying through the ranks. His last 6 fights, he's won straight. So, yeah, he's going to be a tough opponent. I think he could probably, his last 2 fights have been by decision, where Volk, 4 of his 6 wins in the for the featherweight title have been by decision as well. So I think Volk might be a little bit hesitant to start the fight, and we could see this going the full 5 rounds, and I think Volk gets the decision there. If Lopez is to win, he's to win early.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 2 ways this fight's going to go is Lopez early knockout or Volk gets the decision.
Interesting. Because I was having a look at Volk. There's a clip going around of Volk, and he was sort of suggesting that Volk reckons he gets it done before the end of the 5th round. Whether that's a submission or a knockout. You don't think that's the case?
I hate going against the man, but I'd never disagree with him to his face.
Yeah, you wouldn't do it.
No, but here on this show, I can say what I want. So, yeah, look, I think it does. I think he just takes his time. He might be a bit hesitant. And Lopez is a dangerous fighter too. So he's fought some good opponents. He fought Brian Ortega in his last fight, which was a class up for him. This is another class as well. So I do see it going the full 5.
That's concerning for me because my one unit I'm having on UFC, I followed Volk in. Volk to win. But it's in the double chance market to win by KO, TKO or submission. That was getting me $3.45. I've got one unit on that. But, you've had your eye on Roasty on this show, so probably that spells doom for my bet.
Yeah, he's on fire. He's probably our most successful ever guest, I would say, on the show.
100%.
Yeah, I think last year it was like 7 from 9.
But who's counting?
Yeah. Yeah.
What I would say about that, have you ever heard a fighter say, like, they're always pumping their own tyres up, being like, I'm going to get this done ASAP, you know what I mean? We're going to get this done in the first second. I feel like Jake Paul said, not that we're talking about similar level fighters, but Jake Paul in every press conference I've ever seen goes, I'm going to get this done in the first 2 rounds, and every fight he's ever had has gone the distance.
Yeah.
They say one thing and mean the other.
It's a good point.
I think if you actually tallied up the fighters that said they'd get a knockout and it actually went to decision, it'd be very, very low.
It'd be $1.01, I reckon.
Yeah.
All right, so you reckon Volk, the distance is how you're thinking you'll play the first 5?
Yeah, well, like you guys say, your passports are Australian, but your wallets are citizens of the world. My wallet is definitely Australian for this one. Going Volk.
Yep.
But I think decision, yeah.
Okay.
Talk to us about is it a co-main, the fight before? Is it a co-main event or is?
Oh no, it's like they call it the co-main because they'll go for 5 rounds, but it's not for a title or anything.
Okay.
So,
The great,
which is Paddy Pimblett,
Yes,
the Scouser from
big fan
Liverpool.
of. Yep.
Yes, very very entertaining fighter.
Yep.
Up against Michael Chandler, who waited for nearly 2 years to fight Conor McGregor. Got a fight in November last year, which was a loss, but he's back to fight Paddy Pimblett. Look, Chandler's like a championship quality fighter. His record doesn't look like it. His 6 fights in the UFC, he's only had 2 wins. Out of those, though, he's had 3 fight of the nights, 2 performances of the night were wins, and the other one was for a title fight. So he's a championship quality fighter. Paddy Pimblett, though, he's 6-0 since entering the UFC. He is, like we said, very entertaining. He's rising fast, but he's also had a win against Tony Ferguson in his last fight, where a lot of people said that his first round could have been like a 10-8 round. He won it unanimously, but he dominated the very first round. So he's rising fast. The UFC want him to be the big star. This is going to be a very high quality fight. And if we're taking advice from Volk as well, he was 50-50 on this one. So could go either way.
Can't wait for this card on Sunday. Do you have a bit of a multi for us across the week?
So I like Paddy Pimblett in that one. I think he gets it over Michael Chandler. As great as Michael Chandler is, he's 39, he's a bit older, but I think Paddy Pimblett gets it. I think he gets it via submission. He's won a few via submission, so I think he gets it done there. There's another young guy earlier on, Chase Hooper. I think he wins easily as well. So I'm chucking him in a multi with Paddy Pimblett via submission. Volk decision, I think it's about 14.60.
Nice.
Okay.
Yep.
Any relation to James Hooper? That first
I was going to say, any
No, he's got hair, so...
All right, we can't
No
be
relation.
there.
Yeah.
Can't be.
that's a drive-by from me.
He ain't wearing a hat because I'm balding, but sorry, James.
You want to throw the Dragons in there this weekend?
No, mate. No.
He wants to actually make some money for the punters.
I will say, if you're looking for an omen bet as well, it is in Miami, home of one of the greatest singers of all time, Pitbull. And there's a fighter on the card called Pitbull.
Yeah,
so,
Mr. Worldwide.
Hey?
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide. So jump on Pitbull. I think he's about 250. He's a bit of an underdog.
Isn't he 305?
Fighting in Miami. Yeah.
That's incredible.
We could end it there. Cut it.
That is incredible, Jack. All right, will these be on your feed? Or?
Yeah, I'll chuck them up in the feed. So give me a follow, and you'll see all these bets on there.
Beautiful.
Good stuff, mate. Enjoy your time over there, and commiserations in advance for the Dragons.
Yeah, appreciate that. Cheers.
No
Hopefully
worries.
bounce back next week or the week after or the week after.
One day,
Yeah.
Kick him out of the comp. See you, mate.
See you, boys.
Big thanks to Roasty. Looking in safe travels to him over to the States in Miami there. Bucket list adventure, I believe, for him.
Absolutely.
So I was well
big week of
on the
bucket
show.
list for him. Came into the show in the studio, and now he's heading over there as well. In that order. So
you know what I just realised you look like? He's in that like if you took the head part off, he looks like Wolfman.
Dave Williams.
Yeah, Dave Williams.
Yeah. Remember when he dyed his beard pink?
Yeah.
Remember when he dyed his beard pink?
For Women in the League round.
Remember when he went full walkabout for like 2 months after the grand final?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
Hope you're well, Wolfman.
He is well. His Instagram's flying. I think he coaches rugby league somewhere.
Okay.
I don't know.
So did he
He's doing
completely
well.
lose
He's
the
doing well.
plot?
No.
Yeah, okay. All right, just do a recap
Oh,
quickly.
yeah,
what
very
you
quickly.
like.
I'm just following Volk in. Volk reckons he's going to finish it before the end of the 5th round. So I've just gone it's the double play, basically, TKO or submission. KO, TKO or submission, 1 unit on that at $3.45.
I also had a chat to close personal friend Volk, as I do, and he likes this multi this weekend. He likes Rodriguez, Silva, Pimblett, and himself. Shock horror. Imagine if he was like, nah, I'm not.
The other guy's worth a look. Yeah.
Slight compliance issue.
price.
Slight compliance issue.
Yeah.
Those four together in UFC 314, 2 units at $5.80. As I said, if you want to hear why, I can have a chat to you because I had a chat to close personal friend Alex Volkanovski about this. So looking forward to watching him go to work on Sunday.
And utter gibber. Now to bring us home, I'm going back to Gather Round.
Oh, you're going
not
back?
physically, because to go to all these games, it'd be $300 in Ubers. But I will say, we've got Richmond versus Freo. I've got the Dockers in there. Yes, they're short. Then I'm taking the Giants to beat St Kilda. And to bring us home, and this one was the headliner last year as well.
Yeah.
I think, Port Adelaide versus Hawthorn. I've got the Hawks, so it's the three favourites there. $2.23, 3 units on that.
Are they all Sunday?
They are.
Beautiful.
Yep.
I like that to ride the weekend home.
Just to bring us home.
Yep.
So that's it for me this week.
Beautiful. All right,
the
we're
reason
done.
you're all been waiting around so long.
Thank you very much for hanging around because it's time for the main event. April horoscopes with the Eagle.
Yeah.
Fire away.
Might as well cover off on the first week that we've missed as well, retrospectively.
Of April.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah,
got for
because
us?
your good and bad days, and obviously, like we said last week, it's an American website, so
American Tuesday.
it was.
Reeks of an American.
Reeks of it.
I think we'll start with Virgo because you might need it the most. Is that fair?
Yeah,
Why is
that's
that?
Just you do. Anyways,
fair.
so actually, it's good news.
Okay. Also, sorry, are we in retrograde still?
And we're
She's
just
about
out of
to
it.
say.
Sorry.
We're just
I'm
out of
too
it.
excited.
We're just out of it. We're all good
We're
now.
out of Mercury retrograde now.
We're out of Mercury.
Okay,
So
great.
make decisions. You can
Make
make
some big
decisions
decisions.
now.
Okay.
Daily Cherry Evans.
If you're
Shouldn't
watching-
have made those decisions yet. Just saying. April is a month of powerful rebirth, Virgo.
Oh.
It begins with your ruling planet Mercury stationing direct in Pisces, I can't even speak. Untangling the threads of your 7th house of relationships, love, and one-on-one connections. Conversations take on new meaning, offering clarity where confusion once lingered. What was one uncertain now feels undeniable.
Well. There's a bit in that.
Pretty good though, hey?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
That's like incredibly accurate.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're going to start believing
AI's
this.
got, access to your brain.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
So your standout days are today.
You have had a good day?
That's good. You had a great Uber driver.
Yes.
So that's good.
One of the
One of the best. Also the 20th, which is Easter Sunday,
Oh, beautiful.
and the 27th, which is the Sunday after Anzac Day.
Sunday after Anzac. Probably when I'll just be starting to feel a bit more like myself after
True.
Anzac Day.
True.
Yep.
So
Your
that'd be a good
challenging
day.
days were the 3rd, which was last Thursday.
Yep, that adds up.
Okay.
Yep.
This Thursday, the 10th,
Okay.
Oh, God.
and then the 24th, which is the day before Anzac Day.
Oh,
Or maybe I'll pull a hammy or something before I have to run 21
Oh,
Ks
but
the next day.
yeah, you never know. Anyways,
interesting.
Stay safe out there.
interesting month for you.
That's a very interesting month for me. So thanks very much for that, Eagle.
Yep, and thank
great.
you to horoscopes.com.
Yes.
Taurus.
Proud sponsors of the show.
Not an ad. Thank you.
April is a month of an awakening, Taurus. Mercury stations direct in Pisces, lifting the fog on your 11th house of friendships and dreams. A vision you've held quietly in your heart suddenly seems within reach, or a plan that once felt impossible now holds promise.
Interesting. Tigers win the comp, I think.
Oh,
So I'm gleaning from that.
It is dreams. It did say
I
dreams.
think every horoscope ever we've done closely aligned to footy season results in that.
Yeah.
Okay, so your standout days are this Thursday.
Oh.
What's
fantastic.
on? What's on?
What have I got on this
Some
Thursday?
Pilates.
Bit of Pilates. Mon comes back. She's been away for the week.
Oh, Mon's been away.
Oh,
Head
that's
down to
nice.
Ballarat. That'd be nice.
That is
Oh, that's
a
great.
standout
That
day.
is a good day.
Also the 19th, which is Easter Saturday.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I'm seeing Reece Derby in Canberra.
Oh, very
Huge.
good.
And then also the 27th, which is the same as Sam's 2 days after Anzac Day on the Sunday.
Tigers play the
Oh.
Sharks at Leichhardt.
Oh,
Yeah.
big. That's
I'll
big
be
news.
a chance coming to that, I reckon.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Get a Tigers jersey on.
Yeah, again.
Yeah,
Disgraceful.
nothing usual. Your challenging days were yesterday.
Yesterday.
You were sick, weren't
a
you?
little bit sick, and it was a long day. Mate,
Exactly, I was gonna say,
we were
you-
in here for just about 12 hours.
12 hours?
Well, not 12, probably 10 and a half.
What were you in here for 10 and a half for?
Bloke. Then
yeah,
I
win, or
kicked
draw.
around, and then we had win, learn, or draw.
I thought you meant bloke went for 10 hours. The podcast didn't go for that long.
Nah, 4 hours.
Yeah.
That would be a challenging day being sick. Also, the 20th, which is Easter Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Easter Sunday, yep. Unfortunately, the Swans play that day. So,
Oh, that's
That's right, against Port.
Swans Port.
yeah.
Okay.
And then the 23rd, which is a Wednesday in a few
Wednesday.
weeks.
That could be anything, couldn't it?
Swans Port.
23rd, no. I'm going to go see another comedy show that day. Wilson Dixon. Looking forward
maybe
to
it won't be that good.
Maybe it won't be as good as I was hoping it was
No.
going to
Swans Port or Newcastle v Sydney FC, as Cal McKean would say.
be. Oh, some of his worst there. Love you, Cal, but honestly,
Care factor for the Jets.
what were you thinking?
It could, if
He
there
goes. What he said? One blockbuster and one game nobody cares about. We're talking about the CFC game.
Classic.
Love to get a straw poll of how many people are going to attend either game on Easter Sunday.
Absolutely.
And
What have
then
you got for yourself?
Saggy. April brings adventure, Sagittarius. Mercury stations direct in Pisces, stirring the waters of your 4th house of home and inner foundation.
So can I ask you, what's this house stuff? Where's this come from?
What do you mean?
Like,
In your
I
4th
haven't heard
house?
the words houses before.
Oh, I think like in your like astrological chart, there's certain houses of like, you might be like a astrological houses.
Like, I think it would just help me to visualize.
There's 12 houses of the zodiac, each representing a different area of life. So the
Okay.
4th area must be
Yep.
a certain area of
Okay.
life. Conversations about the past gain clarity, and an emotional weight you've been carrying feels lighter. It's as if the roots beneath you strengthen, preparing you for what comes next. That felt very, what's the word, like
Feels like-
ambiguous.
No, I feel like it's more like you've been like coming out of a bad situation into a good one.
Well, Manly did lose,
Manly
so
did.
and Tom Trbojevic is injured again, so maybe he'll bounce back.
You could just run that, exactly what you said, just run it back every year for the last 5 years, potentially.
Control C, Control V, Control C.
So true. Oh my God. Okay, this is a lie because it said my standout day was Sunday.
Oh, it's in the bin, never again.
Seriously.
No more horoscopes.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Also, the 15th, which is next Tuesday, we're in Melbourne. And then the 25th, Anzac Day, 2 up wins.
Oh,
Two
if
upwards.
I could have asked for any standout day this year, that would be it.
I'm really happy about that because I'm heading down to Wharfie, Felons
Yep.
for that, so fingers crossed. Challenging days were last Thursday. Don't remember doing anything last Thursday. Also, the 17th, no, that's when Manly play the Dragons at Brookie.
Oh my God.
No.
If you lose to the Dragons,
Especially if we lose the Sharks and the Dragons, I'm not going to be okay. Anyways, and also the 24th, day before Anzac Day, which is a Thursday. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just really glad there were no bad days on Wednesdays because the Saggy Taggies are back this Wednesday.
They're back, baby.
saggy taste.
So I wish there was good days on Wednesdays, but I'll take no
Any
challenging
changes
days.
to the roster this year?
Unfortunately, there is. Supercoach Spy out.
Oh, he's out.
He plays. He's got rugby league training on Wednesdays, so he can't play the winter season, but he'll be back for summer.
Yep.
And yeah, a few new additions.
Yep.
So we'll see how we go.
Nice.
It's a new competition as well. We've changed competitions.
Why?
Defected. Just because the other competition was a Friday night. Wednesdays are way better.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Everyone's-
Friday night's outrageous.
Yeah, I was like, they even sent a text being like, "Do you guys want to re-register?" I was like, "No."
No,
No, thank you.
No.
Yep.
Cool. Anything else?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yep.
What's coming up for the week, Anthony?
No, nothing too spectacular. I was just trying to get rid of this man flu.
Are you around Friday night?
Think so. Why?
Swans Pies?
Swans pies. Yeah, no, I'll be getting around. That Mon will be keen for that too, actually.
All right.
She's
We'll
been
find
carrying
something
on
to
a bit about the pies and how they're
Going good.
Yeah. Swans are a bet. I didn't have enough units to play with though. I was going to put them in there. $2.15.
2:15.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks very much for joining us. It's been a big show. Hopefully we won't.
Glenn
be-
Maxwell, big show.
Does it ever stop?
No.
That's what I'm asking. That's what the puns at home are asking. Does it ever stop?
You know the answer.
The answer is no. Trust me. That'll do us for the week. Thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you in our brand new Melbourne studio this time next week.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.